Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the live crypto trading room once again. Today is March 6th, 2024. Hopefully you guys are okay following yesterday's big 10% dump. I mean, in total from open to close, it was only 6.68%, but from peak to trough, 14.15%. So pretty brutal decline. This is exactly what I was talking about yesterday, that we've exited out of the accumulation phase of the bull market and we've entered into the more bull market proper, which is highlighted. Like, this is what you're going to get in a bull market. You're going to get big moves to the upside and then terrifying, just fear-inducing FOMO panics, like big crashes. This is how the bull markets are going to be. And, we've been pretty fortunate. We haven't really had too many of these big suckers. Like the last one that came in like this was back in January. Towards the end of January, we had a big 7% candle. I think it was about 10%, from peak to trough there as well. Good morning. I see Jordan. I see Prophet Bear in the chat. Aaron Lind, good morning to you guys. Hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. But we're back up, guys. There's no reason to worry, right? Like last night, I was sitting there and I was kind of analyzing my thoughts and I was putting everything together and I was like, Bitcoin below 60,000. Like if we close down here, that's bad. And we're probably looking to like mid 30s, something like that. But charging immediately back up, back above 64. That was kind of my line in the sand as I was thinking there. I was kind of putting my thoughts together last night. I was like, where's my line in the sand? And it was 64,000, right? I said above 64,000, we're going to go full steam long again. Below 62,000, and like in between 60 and 62, market probably goes sideways for a couple of weeks. So let's break this all down. Let's just start off with the technicals and then we'll get into the fundamentals. On the weekly time frame, nothing has changed here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's pull up our PTP methodology. PTP methodology has just been absolutely crushing this bull rally. If you've been trading with us, you've been following our methodologies. Again, we had a bullish long signal back over here. It just depends on exactly how you're running your system. Either you got it on the closing candle of October 16th or you got it on October 23rd. Doesn't matter. Anyways, we catch this initial big weekly leg up. We can see RSI crosses under here on the closing week of January 8th. So we exit that trade. And we do re-enter on the breakout here on February 24th. So we are still long on the weekly time frame. Absolutely no reason to change anything. The only thing I talked about is because we are redlining now for the first time on the weekly. This is the first time this has happened since back in the 2020 rally. What happened the last time we rallied back in 2020, you might ask, even though I've told you guys 5 times? We had one more week of limited upside and then we went sideways for a month. All right. One more week of limited upside and then we went sideways for a month. And I'm not expecting that this could really significantly be different. The selling that we'll talk about that in a little bit, but the selling that came in yesterday, that's definitely going to leave a mark on the new buyers. And even though the ETF flows are still very hot, we can see price maybe going sideways for the next couple of weeks here following that movement and being stuck in the range. But regardless, weekly time frame here, again, things are just looking good. Again, we re-entered here on the closing candle of the week of February 5th, and we're still holding that long position. The only thing I've recommended is to peel off about 20 to 50% of profits, depending on where you're at. Is my official recommendation based on the fact that we are redlining, and that's it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So weekly time frame, hold long positions. I'm not recommending anybody to add at this point in time because the likelihood of a pullback has increased now based on our model. So yeah, we are redlining for the first time. So 20 to 50% profits, depending on how aggressive or conservative you want to be. And overall, we are waiting for a pullback for re-entries right now on the weekly time frame. That's simple. Daily time frame. What did I say yesterday? I said yesterday we do need to be closing daily positions. That's exactly what I recommended. Why? Because we had RSI crossing underneath the signal line. It's just as simple as that, coming out of a red line as well. So we redlined. We had another limited upside. We redlined, came out of redlining, and one more daily upside candle. And then we kind of go sideways here. So that's really what I'm expecting for the next couple of weeks now following that big sell, is just the price going sideways. Listen, guys, and here's the other thing too. I do want to shift from technicals a little bit and talk about the fundamentals. The reality is, listen, I was scrolling Twitter this morning and I was going on TradingView and I was kind of reading other people's analysis and reports. And here's the thing, whenever we have situations like this, you're going to get every jokel, every Tom, Dick, and Harry comes out of the woodwork and they're like, oh man, like this crypto crash was so predictable. Like this, that, and the third, like, oh my God, like blah, blah, blah. Listen, there are thousands of people, tens of thousands of people making content on trading right now. Okay. Obviously, it's a very competitive landscape. That's why we do what we do. And, things certainly have died down a little bit relative to other, yes to crypto. I already forgot to hit the record button, man. I'm giving up, right? I've just given up, but thank you so much Thank you so much for the re-up, my friend. Being a member for 28 months and rocking with me, man. I really appreciate that, brother. I've got a lot of other things to do today, though. I'm not gonna lie. So content's one of the least things. I've been working hard on the new bots. They were in a little bit of drawdown yesterday, but the push back up, we're now rolling back in the green. So everything's really good. Although I was very happy, the bots did catch the down move very, very well. We did get trapped in a couple longs, so I do need to make some adjustments there before they're finally ready for production. But overall, they did really, 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 really well. So things are good. So all I'm trying to say is that, I've seen everybody on their timeline saying they predicted this or that. And then I see other people that were calling for like, oh, we're absolutely going up, and now they're quiet. Listen, trading is hard, okay? And there's no such thing as predicting the future. Nobody knows with absolute certainty what's going to happen, right? It doesn't matter what metric you're looking at. It just doesn't matter, because things can change on a dime. And all of a sudden, somebody can just come in with a big market order and completely invalidate all of your analysis and your predictions. We trade, this is quantum mechanics, right? We are trading probabilities. That's what we're doing, all right? So we're not upset when things don't go our way, all right? And we really shouldn't be. Obviously, we're happy when things do go our way, right? But it's just the process. We're just following the process. We're just doing what we're supposed to be doing. All right, so as I said yesterday, we did get that high volatility signal, and we were expecting more upside on that. But whatever, the price decline's fine. Tapping that new all-time high and pulling back is totally fine. Technically, on the daily time frame, we do see TSI curling down and getting closer to our signal line here. Of course, a cross under at this point in time would invalidate the bull rally and be putting us into neutral mode until we get back down here a little bit lower, potentially even taking a counter short. But we would prefer to do that with options, not futures. As I said, RSI did cross underneath the signal line, so we are now flat on the daily time frame. We will re-enter on a recross over, although we are going to be taking a slightly limited risk because volatility is so elevated and high. All right, getting down here to the local scuttlebutt. Actually, we can just kick it down to the 4-hour on the PTP methodology and see what we have going on. 4-hour was really nice. What did we have? We had this nice, beautiful bullish rally, which TSI and PTP actually caught, by the way, here, hitting TP1. And we have a nice pullback here to our 55 exponential moving average. This was the dump. So just, perfectly logical, natural place. The day I remember the record button is a sign of the top. Yes, mark that. Put that on a t-shirt, man. Put that on a t-shirt. So we just had this nice orderly decline down to the 55 exponential moving average, trading briefly below the 4-hour point of control, and now pushing back up. We do have a lower high. All right, so let's not get super crazy or excited here. We've got some low volume nodes down below us in the 65,700 range. And then, of course, the $64,500 range. Those are very logical pullback points. And then, of course, we would like to see price defended here at the point of control. We don't really want to be seeing lower lows at this point in time. And in fact, we're probably going to be getting, I think we're probably good to fade if price comes down here and trades below the point of control again into this high volume node. I think we're probably safe initially to long that. But we don't want to see, we definitely don't want to be seeing lows get taken out. So kind of the danger area, the line in the sand right now is going to be 60,900. All right, 60,900 is kind of the bottom shelf of the 4-hour high volume node here. Low liquidity all down here. And although, of course, we can see wicks down into this area, which would be max pain. Just the farther we get down there, the scarier it gets, right? And we don't want to be really taking positions in that shape. All right, but overall, 4-hour here is pretty decent. What did we get here? 4-hour was nice. Of course, 4-hour kicked us out of the long. Volatility is pretty elevated here on the 4-hour time frame. So I'm not seeing any 4-hour signals. For us to get this nice, beautiful trending movement, we do want volatility to come back down and have a nice reset. So overall, nothing really happening here on the 4-hour that we need to pay attention to. Here on the hourly, again, also very nice, clean and orderly. We had a nice, pretty dramatic pullback to the 200 moving average here as well. I just want to make sure, yeah. We had a nice pullback to the 200 EMA here. We have now reclaimed our 55 and our 21 exponential moving average. We do have pretty good resistance here at 67,726. So we do need to get a good break above that. An hourly close above that would be quite good. Pullback zones right now in the 64,383 on the hourly. We can see that. So contrasting nicely with that 64,500. And is there anything else here that's relatively significant? Did get an hourly long signal right here, but the thing is volatility is quite high. All right, so take that one at your own risk. I'm certainly not in that trade, although that would be decent positioning for a potential breakout. But so far, we do have lower highs in this consolidation range, so not feeling super hopeful about it. But this is a very nice immediate pullback. Very nice immediate pullback. the thing is, you know, all reversal traders are going to be looking at this as a potential swing failure pattern, right? We made a new high, we had a pretty dramatic pullback, and now we have this. The proper way to trade a swing failure pattern, though, is that you take the trade when price closes below the low that was established, right? So we make a high, we pull back, we fail to make a new high. That's the critical thing. We have to fail to make a new high. And then when price closes below the original kind of pivot low here, then you open up short and you set your stop loss up here, all right? That's kind of just swing trading, chart pattern methodology right here. All well and good. All right. Other than that, I don't really see too much on the hourly. Let's go down to the 15 and see if we can spot any day trades for today and update our liquidation zones. All right, so let's go to Coin Glass. And get our liquidation zones here. What do we got? Well, we basically cleared. Yeah, so yeah, we cleared all this liquidity. We rallied up, grabbed stops, cleared liquidity down, cleared liquidity up. It seems like we've really cleared a lot of liquidity. Yeah, it really seems like we've cleared a lot of liquidity. So we do have liquidations that come in at 65,372 down to 65,033. They're not super significant though. But that is all the way back down to the bottom of the range. And then we just have liquidations above us. So honestly, today, I don't feel that liquidations are going to be especially helpful unless price wants to make a drive to the upside. Honestly, looking at this, it does kind of look like price wants to come back down. Will kind of be my thought here. So let me take it. Let me just look here for a little bit and just kind of see what we're thinking. All right, so this looks like consolidation. I mean, this looks like a big range is being formed. Big ranges are kind of difficult to trade because of the variance. So I'm thinking the next week or two, unless Bitcoin decides to make a pretty dramatic movement out of this range, I think they're going to be tricky to trade. So range trading strategies are probably what we want to employ here. Bots are going to do very nicely right now. Yeah, because price has just bopped between, we've established a high volume node here. And we know why this was a high volume node because we know a lot of positions were established here. So we can just see this, I think, very clearly. We have this very long consolidation period that lasted, about 3 days. And the nice thing about this consolidation period is that it started off very volatile, right? Again, what this area of the chart doesn't look too dissimilar to here, all right? We have this nice run up, right? And then a big collapse back down to the 200. In this case, we obviously go much lower. We come back down to the consolidation range. And then volatility gets crushed, right? We can see the range tighten. We can see the range tighten as price progresses until the range is almost non-evident. There is a fake out move. We grab liquidity and then the breakout. So we need to see something similar, right? I do want to see this range compress before we start thinking about taking a trending movement. And so for now, we're just going to be probably playing the range at this point in time. And the setup that I'm really seeing right now. Oh, hello. Yeah, the setup that I'm really seeing right now is just the short, honestly, intraday. I think we short here unless we close above the trend line, and then we can trade up to upper, kind of the upper 2 standard deviations right here with OI going flat. Uh-oh. Not again. Okay, we're good. It's like, not again. Come on, what's happening here? Oh, what is this? Let's switch locations. This happened to me yesterday, but other people were reporting that it was not happening to them. So it's probably something to do with me. All right. Before we hold on just one sec. Before we do this, let's just make sure that wait a second. That's weird. This should be the 15-minute intraday. And you should be the 1 minute. I'm thinking reversal. That's PTP. There we go. That's what we're looking for here. Let's see here. Am I missing anything here? I don't know. Let's be a little patient here. Because we do have this nice rally up. Although I am thinking, yeah, because we got that signal there. We are a little, but it's not super dramatic. Let's see here. Volatility is relatively low here too. So this is good. If we get a pop to the upside, that would be good. We'll take the close up here. But yeah, I think we're fine to, yeah, I think we're fine here. So we're just going to grab a little short here. Just seems principled. All right. Kind of our short scout for the day. Relo Sayo, thank you. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for supporting the stream. Crypto Bedouin. Good to see you, my friend. All right. All right, so on the bright side, though, we do have good flow information. Does look like BlackRock had almost $800 million in inflows, which is their largest flow so far, actually. Grayscale last night had $332 million in outflows. So ETFs have bought the dip with a net inflow of $662 million. And, you know, it's very, it is very telling, right? So if we go look at, if we go look at ByBit, which this is BlackRock's ETF. Okay. I want to point something out. And it's time. All right. So let's actually load up the 15 minutes so we can see this a little bit clearly. All right. So here's market open. Okay. So we can see that from basically market open to, oh wait, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. So here was market open yesterday. Okay. And what do we see? We can see that market opened and immediately started dumping. So this was very much institutional. This was not a European movement. This was not a Chinese movement. This was an American movement, because the movement started as soon as the bell rang, right? As soon as the bell rang and the movement stopped, right? The selling stopped. This is the important thing. The Americans were the sellers here, institutional sellers, all right, via the ETF. They started selling as soon as the bell rang, all right? And they stopped selling within the last hour, right? They weren't really interested in the liquidity. You can see this buyback, but then you can see the sellers took back control of the market. And then the American institutionals were off. UK and China pumped the market overnight. Okay, UK and China pumped the market overnight. ByBit opened gapped up. Okay, and it's still just kind of not doing too much here. Opening down and just back up to opening price. All right. So this was definitely an American movement. All right. I was seeing quite a bit of information here. I heard about this last week, but apparently there is an unknown wallet that was created in 2010 that dumped a lot of Bitcoin last night. I think 55,000 Bitcoin or something. During the all-time high. So that's what some people were saying. And then they were speculating that there's, probably some more secret sellers out there. Like this is all like a spy novel, for the love of God. Like a spy novel. So again, analyzing the ETFs now that they play a large role in determining, like, trying to put this mystery together, right? Like, who was the sellers? What were their incentives? Because it matters. It matters who's pumping the markets and who's dumping the markets, right? So we can see that ByBit dumped, and so we know that this was an American. Movement. All right. So do I have push back up? Let's see if we do get a break. All right. Price pushed up to 67,108. Just coming back up to resistance. Alex is like, in the end, it was a simple rejection of the all-time high. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, right? The all-time high wasn't consistent across all exchanges. All right, pushing back up to that level of resistance, getting a little bit of selling. Some pretty strong selling, bearish engulfing candle, potentially. What is the new rock bottom? I mean, listen, at this point in time, we always want to be prepared and anticipate like these big crypto crashes, right? Because they're just kind of part of an undeniable part of a bull market. Anything that can go up 50% in an hour can go down 50% in an hour, right? But we really don't want to see that. Like again, like I've thought about this a lot, right? I thought about this a lot, and I've kind of been anticipating this, this pre-having dump, right? But then I started to think about that more, and I kind of started to realize that, I think I'm really only thinking that way because we had such a dramatic one back, last cycle, and so that's just very, very fresh in my mind. And the reality is that was very much that was the COVID dump, right? That was very much a fear-driven COVID dump that occurred in March, and we are in March, so I'm just like we're gonna get a crash. And I think the rest of the market might be thinking something very similar too as well, So I would be tentative to say what a rock bottom price is, because at the end of the day, that really just matters. I mean, certainly we have our levels of support and resistance where buys are more likely to come in. I just don't really think it's necessarily super relevant to think about those right now until price starts heading in that direction. Because we do have, again, like we had retail bought the market up tremendously last night. So the big thing we have to think about right now is that since we know that yesterday's selling was institutionally driven via the ETFs, the question just is like, are they done, right? Are they done, or are they going to gear back up? And if they gear back up, then certainly the direction is going to be down until they're done selling, because they have accumulated so much BTC. It is just ridiculous the amount of BTC they have accumulated. And so, we could even like speculate like, oh, is there like, certainly lots of publications have been making content like this. Like, oh, is there like a nefarious purpose? Like what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? Like what's really happening? All right. BTC unable to break at that point in time, coming back down to the kind of this. Obviously, we formed this small consolidation range with support at 66,784 and resistance at about 67,203. So we are currently short. We are looking for the breakdown of 66,775. Let's see. Point of control there. High or low though. But if we are going to be able to overcome resistance here, and this is just basically the hoorah, then where do we think prices are going? Oh, probably to the next low volume node. 65,779.50. That sounds good. That is a good TP. And we don't really want to manage risk there. We do want to get the value of the ATR at this point in time. And we want to go 608.90. We can measure 608.90 right like so. Close enough. The 68.408. It's asymmetric risk to reward. But I think it's all we can really do at this point in time. I mean, generally, I'm not going to lie. If you want to day trade, you typically so it's different, right? So higher time frame swing trading, which is where I'm really good at. I've had more success with an asymmetric risk to reward strategies, certainly with discretionary trading on lower time frames. With oh, you know what? I don't think I really want to do that though. Yeah. With higher time frames, though, we definitely want a non-asymmetric, and it's all just going to come down to kind of how you put your strategy together and configure it. Let's see what bottom feeders got going on for us. Bottom feeder didn't fire on Bitcoin last night. Bottom feeder didn't fire on Ethereum yesterday. Bottom feeder didn't fire on Solana. Bottom feeder had previously fired over here on Arbitrum, but not now. Optimism doing incredible. Oh, we're on the, oh, yeah, we are on the daily. Firing on Sui. I think we definitely go there. All right, let me just calculate position size here real quick. What are we working with? Let's see, Sui 4384. Yeah. 1359. All right. Not a very large position, but that's okay. Go 1,000 just for this account size. And Sui, what are we doing here? Sui, our TP is 1.5675. Okay, last price. And of course, our SL is going to be 1.1338. All right, that's pretty simple. We're going to need to go not 10x because that will stop us out. We need to go because our stop loss is like 20% away. So even 5x, honestly, isn't safe. We need 4x leverage for this. We bought Sui. Okay, moving on. Green. Chainlink. Any signal from Chainlink? No. BNB no. ApeCoin no. XRP no. Aptos, but we just closed out, so that was good. Dogecoin. Polkadot, no. Yeah, guys, all coins are just ripping. So I think we're probably risk on. Maker. Maker signaling for a long here. Believe we already hit it though, because the signal would have come in on this morning's candle. Well, we should have taken it on the open is basically what I'm trying to say, because the signal is always generated on the previous candle. So we are not going to take that one because Maker has moved so far in the direction that we want it to. It is not optimal to enter. EOS, B-Chain, Sand, no. Mask, no. LDO, no. Conflux, Neo. All right. So just one bottom feeder trade today. That's going to be Sui, which is nice because Sui's been slightly underperforming. Fairdesk. And now what I'd like to do is go look for a 4-hour setup. I think everything's going to look pretty identical. 4-hour F is redlining. Oh wow, that's a lot. Tyler's taking profit on Ethereum today, I think. Do you prefer trading on margin or perpetual futures? Both of those things are the same. I mean, they're not. Perpetual futures, and well, I mean, they really are the same thing. Like perpetual futures is a type of contract, right? It's a type of avenue of trading as opposed to spot trading or options. But margin, the use of margin is available, is a tool that is used on perpetual futures. So both. I use margin on perpetual futures. Anyone know if anyone knew? Oh, I know what you're talking about, Jordan. No, I don't have any updates on that. I don't know. I don't actually know. Ilya says I'm a bit of a noob. Were you to set your stop losses in case of a crash like yesterday? I mean, listen, it depends, right? Because, you know, it very, very, very much depends, right? Are you scalping? If you're scalping, you typically don't use, honestly, you typically don't use stop losses, right? Or you set them just far, far away. The other way to scalp is, of course, to use very tight stops, but in general, I haven't seen much success with that, to be quite honest with you. And then, you know, if you're swing trading, then yeah, you want, you know, wide stops or trailing stops. But in a situation like last night, like it just sucks, man. Like they kind of come out like, yes, like it's not that it came out of nowhere. Sure, we had lots of opportunities. Like being risk off was probably smart. Okay. But if you risked off and then, you know, price just moved up like 30%. So you always have to gauge, like, is the risk worth the reward, right? Is the risk worth the reward, you know? So there's just no perfect answer for that. There's no real safe place you can put your stop loss so that you're protected from a crash like last night, because invariably you're never going to set your stop loss far enough away such that if it's a really bad crash and it gets hit, like then you're really screwed. And if you set your stop loss too close, then you're going to get stopped out and then price just comes right back. So listen, just getting stopped out and things like that is kind of a frustrating aspect of crypto. But in general, whenever anybody asks me that question, my general wisdom is always, if you're finding in your trading strategy that you're getting stopped out a lot, then it's not where you're putting your stop loss that's the problem. It's your strategy. It's when you're entering. Your entry is bad. Yes, to crypto with the $10, man, coming in hot. Thank you so much, brother. Says I have to step away, but in the second half, I'd appreciate an analysis of COQ and DGen, and I'll watch the replay. Yes, sir. So as I say, not as... Oh, yeah, do as I say. I scalped long off the bottom. No, good for you, man. Good for you. Making money. Good stuff. Got some... Pretty bullish buys coming in right now. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, because we've had consolidation for a while, and so we are volatility crushed right now. And now we are breaking out. So I do think we need to get back to BTC, and we've got to flip. Right? That's what we got to do. Okay, we just got to believe and hope that we don't get whipsawed yet again. That would suck. Still good buys coming in, though. Dastardly. Bull's trying. We do have the official volatility crush signal that started to flash on there on the 15-minute. That's pretty good. And overall, I can see this. I can believe in this breakout to the upside here. And especially after everything we just witnessed, for the love of God. Jerome Powell said no more rate cuts. Oh, that's it, guys. Bull market's over. Pack it in. Sell the bags. It's over with. I mean, honestly, yeah. So listen, like the lines and colors aren't too important, to be quite honest with you. They're just good for guidance and direction and to keep me from doing stupid things. I mean, this is, you know, essentially like when we're day trading, this is really kind of all that's important, right? My BTC is trying, right? And consolidation at resistance is good, right? To see price go sideways at resistance is a good thing for the bulls short term. Like if there's not enough juice to break through the order book, then price just rejects, right? When there's enough juice to what we're seeing here basically is limit sells that are here right now start to move their orders up higher. Let's see how our liquidation heat map has evolved. All right. Yeah. So now look, we've stacked up. Now this is starting to actually look decent because now we've stacked up a lot more liquidations above us. So a lot of people have shorted this movement. They could be right. Okay, that's good. But generally, when you start to see everybody start to put a lot of risk, because just a while ago these liquidations weren't here, but now they are. What that suggests to me is that a lot more people have taken risk here and excessively high risks with their shorts. So ideally there is more liquidity above price right now than below price. So we have an incentive to drive price up and cause max pain. The markets always want to make people happy, but what makes people happy also causes people a lot of pain because it's liquidity. My thoughts on the YouTuber narrative that all the previous attempts at a prior all-time high have been rejected on the first pass. Average of, I don't know why, you know what? I hate this like little heart. I can never read the bottom message. Average of 30 weeks. And 30%. I mean, yeah, I mean, we just go find out, right? Okay, let's see here. Run on the all-time high, rejected. And then we do it. This one breaks through, no problem, no rejection. And then let's go see. Yeah, run on the all-time high, rejection, run on the all-time high, rejection. And then, yeah, very first attempt was rejection. So yeah, I mean, yes, that sounds about right. More often than not, when we make a run on a new all-time high, we fail, but then we get right back to it. With the only exception really being this one all the way back in 2010, 2012, excuse me, where we reject and then we go sideways for quite a while until we build up the steam to actually break through it. And then this time where we just break through it, no problem. But again, that was very early days. So if we actually look at a more established and mature market, yeah, breaking above the 20, what is this? The 2013 high took 3-4 attempts until we actually broke through. But not a lot of drawdown, honestly. And then, yeah, here we doji candle weekly, consolidate, breakthrough. So, I mean, overall, I'm pretty bullish above 64,000, guys. I'm not going to lie. And we are above 64,000. So life's good. Let's see here. Big buys, big buys. Here we go. Big buys, let's go. We don't need to be super concerned unless, yeah, we broke through this liquidation. 68,203 would kind of be the height of the liquidations now at this point in time. More dopamine than drugs. I had to delete it. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. When I obviously I like having it there because people find it engaging. I think it's good for the stream. But when I'm done with the stream, because I have it on a monitor right now, like it actively bothers me to sit there and watch it, right? Like yeah. It's not good for your mentality to sit and watch Agri trade all day. So we've grabbed a little bit of liquidity right now. Next up, 67,581. I reckon. Now we're pretty good. We could probably set our stop loss. But I mean, there's really no point in setting the stop loss until price moves in our favor a little bit. Okay, so now let's just see where this one goes for a couple of minutes. We've got about 10 minutes left, and I'm going to analyze COQ and DGen for yes to crypto. It's looking pretty good. Looking like we got a nice little 15-minute breakout. And again, just all the elements are you know, that I looked for here, right? 15-minute time frame. All right. This has been working out for me well pretty far with, you know, again, just trading with discretion. This has nothing to do with my strategies. But again, this is my discretionary strategy. So identify a little bit of a range. Okay. Watch to see that range compress. All right. It helps here that we had higher lows. Right. So that was nice too. Obviously, when I was first looking at this, I was thinking about the short. And I did short actually here at resistance, but then once I saw price pushing up, we saw the breakout. Okay, good. Volatility was compressed. And then the key thing that I was waiting for was this, guys. I was waiting for volatility to get very low. That is the purpose of this indicator. This indicator doesn't tell me in what direction to trade, but it does tell me when it is good to trade. All right. Because anytime we get volatility that gets crushed, usually what happens after that is a sizable movement. Okay, is a sizable movement. So here we can see, you know, this is tradable a little bit here. Versus just like, you know, these 15 minutes where absolutely nothing happens. So we need volatility to trade because volatility means price is moving. Okay, and we need price to move ideally quick. You know, it's best when price moves quickly in the direction that you want it to, right? That's always the best. Alex says we might be going for another all-time high attempt before stock close today. Let's go. SPY just closed the gap, coming back down now. NASDAQ didn't fill the gap yet. Perfect. That would be great. Like full steam long. All right, so let's analyze for Mr. This is Myro. I can't, you know, listen, you guys can see I bought Myro here, right? Accumulated here. Held through this drawdown. I'm still holding. Like, I only bought like, I don't know, like I didn't buy too much of it, just like a couple $100, but now that's worth like $4 grand. And I can't remember like who was telling, somebody was telling me to sell Myro. I think somebody got weak-handed down here. Yeah, with alts you just hold so you make money. Your risk management is your position sizing, right? To be honest, I have a roughly 60% hit rate with massive RRs by just entering every volatility expansion. By just entering every volatility expansion in the direction of the trend. When you say expansion, do you mean after volatility gets crushed and then begins coming back up? Or do you mean volatility, let's say like going over the center, going over like the 50%, the 50th percentile? Yeah, no, hey, Profit Bear, I always got time for you, brother. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, all right. So Degen for yes to crypto. Let's start with Degen. Okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, good. We're good. All right, Degen. Okay, so not too much has changed as far as Degen goes. I was a little bit surprised, but I mean, not super surprised. Like the last time we looked at this was actually a red candle intraday. Looked like we were selling off pretty powerfully. But what price has done here is obviously Degen had a massive run up and then sold off. And I'm just tickled pink that I accurately, like I drew this fair value gap when price was up here. So I'm just really tickled pink that that we were able to have that level of accuracy with our prediction here. So price coming back down to the fair value gap. This is definitely our level of support right now. We've rallied back up into the range, and this is just exactly what I had kind of expected to see from price here, where we have a very clearly established high volume node. So this is really where price wants to be because this is where liquidity is. Okay. We have resistance at not 3, and we do have support at not 1672. Okay. More accurately, it's resistance at not 31. Okay. I have 3099, but not 31 is completely fine. Consolidation at the point of control. Most likely we're going to see right now the seller, we're kind of in the sell zone right now. All right. This is a high incentive for individuals to sell because this is where most liquidity has been transacted. We're in futures market, so there's no real incentive. There's no market makers. They have no real incentive to push price up here. Obviously, there are liquidity providers who are the market makers, and so it is possible that some of them are only providing liquidity in this range. But in general, maybe they do those shenanigans where they try to push price up so that their ranges get filled. But it's not like liquidations where there's just so much money to be made in it that is... So yes, wait for crush down to 1 to 2%, then first candle that is over 5%, enter regardless of price. My man. Long-term minded. So yeah, I think that the sellers are kind of going to be in control here. So swing positions, we could definitely look to take a little bit of profit on this trade. But at the same time, like on degen, right? Like I know we just want to hold things to infinity. So if we want to hold things to infinity, then we just hold things to infinity. But just based on the current trading range, I would expect the sellers to be in control from the point of control to, not 3-1. Breakout of not 3-1 starts to look pretty powerful. All right. Starts to look pretty strong. All right. At this point in time, with the rest of the market seeming to rally as well. So I would not ignore that. We could do breakout positions above not 3-1. Or you could essentially buy back any profit that you've taken in this range and then look for that to kind of increase as price goes up. Other than that, I would really kind of expect... I mean, I guess it kind of does depend on the broader market, but just based on TA, I would expect for the sellers to kind of be in control here unless we can get back up to the top of this range and really get a nice trending movement. All right, now COQ. On Avalanche. Yeah, Kakinu. That was weird. It's been a while since we looked at this one. Okay, pretty neat. Again, almost the same thing. So this is something, maybe we could anticipate something like this with, I mean, this is a meme coin. So meme coins have been absolutely exploding right now. All right. So meme coins are nice and hot. But Kakinu basically came down and consolidated and accumulated down here, basically at our fair value gap, right? Same thing. We can see we struggled to kind of overcome this level of resistance, but we're able to overcome it. Same here, same here. So you can see where price has basically struggled at these previous highs in these zones that I had previously marked out. Like I said, it's been a while since we looked at this one. But now Kakinu back up at the top. Big surge of volume coming in right here. We do have increasing volume and this nice kind of like big blow off top. Price hasn't really made any forward progress over the last 12 hours. I mean, just chilling. Right. We did have one more after that big volume spike. We had one more, a little bit of limited upside, and then price pulled down. So listen, I mean, I'm not going to discount meme coins. All right, we are very close to very close to all time highs. So again, just principal trading. We do want to be taking something like 20 to 30% of profits here, maybe even up to 50% if you want to be a little bit more conservative with it. But I feel that it is probably appropriate to hold. Meme coins are doing very well. We have no idea what the next couple of weeks could bring us. So I do think the upside here is definitely worth the risk to hold. Definitely at least half of the position of COQ here at this point in time. And see if we can break all-time highs and just continue on in this bullish trend. Let's see here. We've now had pullbacks. So, you know, the 55 is all the way down here at, well, it's something like 30% below price. So below this, I would be closing positions out. Okay. If we get below, let's just draw this on the chart, right? This is where we'd have to stop loss at this point in time. So you have to ask yourself, right? Like, this is how I would trade this. Like, I would hold this all the way down and then I would sell below here, which sucks to do. All right. But it sucks a lot better. It sucks a lot better than saying, no, I'm not going to take that big of a loss and then losing 70% more. All right. So you want to get the big gains, you got to take the big risks. And you have to ask yourself, do I think that there's more upside than 30%? Am I willing to trade off 30% of what I have right now for a potential unlimited upside? So I would say worth the risk. So cock looks good. I continue to hold. Peel some profits here. We're really close to the all-time high. And then you can either add, you know, on the next dip or whatever you want to do. But I definitely hold. Especially with... Oh, excuse me. Meme coin's going crazy. All right, I'm going to take a look at Jesus. And then, yeah, FOMO for Alex. And then I got to bounce, guys. Got a lot of things to do today. Jesus. God is good. I mean, so Jesus is still, so I had marked this out. We have the average investor cost basis all the way down here. We have the critical turning point. All right. So Jesus, after this huge, big, massive run up, came back down to the critical turning point and really has had a lot of shakeup right here. All right. We're having a lot of volatile movements. Ooh. I mean, listen, here's the thing. Things get pretty scary below the average investor cost basis. All right. Again, I think we're a bull market. We should be bull market minded. I mean, I think this is pretty decent, right? Like, not too much to do, right? We're at the critical turning point. We should expect to see a lot of consolidation here. Obviously, we're seeing a lot of volatility with the Jesus coin right now. There's really not too much to say here. I think this is probably a decent re-entry spot, right? That we're at right now. We've had a nice big decline. We can obviously see that buyers have stepped in and we have formed a higher low and then an even a subsequent higher low and a higher high at this point in time. So overall, like, I think we have Pico broken out of the trend. A nice, you know, a higher low and higher high would be very good to confirm it. But the buyers are clearly stepping in and they are defending the average investor cost basis here for Jesus. Liquidity is still locked. Everything's still pretty good on Jesus. So yeah, I mean, expect a lot of volatility, but just hold tight. Hold tight. Tyler's got the fear of missing out on Jesus. I hear things aren't going to work out for the folks he leaves behind. And then we'll look at FOMO, which I should have just right up here. Oh no, I don't. Why don't I? It's not that one. It's this one, isn't it? Yeah, it's this one. So yeah, Alex told me to sell this one and I did. Yeah. Maybe I was wrong to do that. Let's see here. What did Alex want to do? Look, if I'm 100% to cut my losses and move to any other 90% of meme coins that are. Yes. Cut your losses, man. Yeah, that's what I did. Cut your losses. Fuck this coin. Simple answer. Yeah. Yeah, I did sell over here. So again, that's what Alex told me to do. Not the Alex that asked about FOMO, the other Alex who told me about FOMO. So, yeah, win some, you lose some, my friend. ST bot still chilling here. Gonna hold off on that one. Myro's doing really good. I should probably definitely take profits here, though. Should probably take at least half. Yeah, and I used Jupiter bot, or not Jupiter bot, but I used Jupiter DCA function. I just want to talk about that real quick. You guys can see like all this, all these buys on Myro, right? Dun, 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 dun. And obviously, like I had to sit through quite a bit of drawdown, but you know, whatever. Patience is good. Yeah, I just used Jupiter as this great DCA feature, so you can say I want to allocate, you know, this to buy every minute, you know. So this is a really fantastic feature in Jupiter, right? Just awesome. All right, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of the live crypto trading room. Again, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for all your support. If you do want to support the stream, please click the like button. It's the best way you can support us. It gets the content out there to more people and gets fresh eyes into the streams. If you would like to support us further, then you can become a channel member. We will be adding some great perks and benefits for you guys over the next few weeks. Yeah, and that's about it, guys. Lots of ways to get involved with the community as well. If you'd like to work personally with me and my team in 2024 to grow and build wealth in the cryptocurrency markets and to learn how to build your own indicator-based trading strategies, I will teach you how to do so from the ground up with our Pathways to Profit course. You can find all the information about that on our website at krakencryptocurrency.com, as well as everything else that we do as a company, and links to everything you can need, or links to everything you could possibly need in your crypto trading adventure down in the description below. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Be good to each other. Cheers.